alone. It's not like team sport where you have players you could kind of rely on and people that you have a bad night, someone can sub in for you. That's not tennis. So kind of wish sometimes that you were just working a regular job where the bills get paid whether you win or lose. Very much it's still a love-hate relationship with tennis. It puts you in it can put you in some pretty dark places. I was really not having a good time, and I wasn't really considering retiring. I want to go that far, but it's hard.
Pickleball, you like it, you love it, you hate it?
No, I hate it. I hate it. I think it's a very dumbed down version of tennis. I can't say that I respect it very much as a professional sport. I think it's kind of a joke.
My first question, because tennis gives you the opportunity to travel to so many places, to visit different cultures, and you can go to the beach or you can go to the mountains. Are you kind of the guy that likes to explore around and see around, or more like this type of just a club, hotel, and airport guy?
No, I'm definitely a guy that likes to explore, but at the same time, I have to be smart with your body, and you don't want to be doing, like, it's not just body, it's just the mental energy and stuff. You have to be smart. Like before the tournaments, I'm obviously trying to do a little bit of sightseeing in the city, but not too much, more preparation stuff. The sightseeing more is for maybe the day off, something like that. For me, my number one thing to do when I'm at tournaments is I like to go for a nice dinner somewhere. And like I'm a big kind of food guy. I like the local culture, food of anywhere I go. I want to try different things. We're usually busy during the day with practice, physio, massage, fitness, some stuff. So the nighttime is the only really time that we have that we can kind of just do something, like go out of the hotel and try different things. So usually dinner is like that's my highlight of the day, because you can go maybe into the city to have dinner so you can see the things around, and then you go in, you eat something that maybe you've never had before. I always like that kind of stuff.
So tennis has pushed this like desire or thing you have of being a foodie.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I mean, I don't know, I don't operate well when I just, let's say, Uber Eats to the hotel, there's some nights where if I'm super, super tired, gone late, that just sometimes it's easier to just get the food delivered to you. But I always like at least one part of the day to go, walk somewhere, explore, see a different part of some city or something.
Yeah. What's your most memorable trip outside of tennis? I've seen you like to explore around.
Yeah. Last year, right after the French Open, I was on a boat in the south of France, which was cool for like a week. We don't really have too much time to do like crazy vacations, because especially in my ranking, I can't really take too much time off between tournaments and things. So I don't really have too much time where I have like a week where I really can do nothing. So I mean, that was last year. I went with my girlfriend and her family on a nice boat in the middle of the south of France. So we were able to see a bunch of different little cities. Outside of that, I went in Lake Tahoe. I went snowboarding a couple of years ago. Like I said, not much time to do things, so it's been a couple of years since I've been back, but been hoping to find some time to do that again, maybe this year or next.
Yeah, you like snowboarding, but at the same time, it's
kind
of dangerous, no?
Should probably, in some of my contracts, it's suggested that I don't do it for injuries and stuff, but I'm pretty smart when I do it. But like I said, I haven't done it for maybe 3 or 4 years now, so I'm hoping that I have some time, maybe this off season, to go again.
Nice. Yeah. If not a tennis player, what would you have been?
I guess realistically, I would have worked something in finance, something boring maybe. But if I had a dream to do something else, something that involves, I don't know, maybe snowboarding, something like that. Obviously, it's very dangerous and stuff, but for me, my favorite thing to do in the world is be on a snowy mountain, no matter what I'm doing. Snowboarding, chilling, something like that.
Well, what's the difference between the feeling on a mountain and snowboarding compared to being on a tennis court, maybe 3-all in the third?
Yeah, I mean, definitely more relaxing to be on a snowy mountain. That's partially, I think, why it is so relaxing for me, because it's kind of an escape from the real world a little bit, and my life. Tennis is has blessed me a lot in this life, but also it's definitely somewhat a job sometimes, and it's the competition is both exhilarating, but it's also sometimes you know sometimes horrible. It's not the nicest feeling to lose a match 6-4 in a third. It's amazing feeling to win it 6-4 in a third, but it's also the heat of the battle is good and bad, and sometimes we're this season in tennis is so long that yes, I love to compete, but I also love the little breaks that we have, and we don't have many of them. So when I get it, I very much cherish it. I think that's part of. I don't think many tennis players talk about it too much because they don't want to talk maybe about the something most positive thing to talk about is that sometimes we love not playing, and for me, um, sometimes that's the sweetest part is the breaks between the big competitions.
Yeah, yeah. That comes to my next question. Have
Yeah.
you ever hate tennis?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially growing up, I have a very much still a love-hate relationship with tennis. It puts you in some pretty, it can put you in some pretty dark places, especially, being on the road so much. Like I said, I like to explore things when I'm on the road, but a lot of times, like what dictates your mood is whether you win or you lose. And if you're losing a lot, it can put you in a dark place. Um, it's tough. It's a very fulfilling life sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to go through tough times in this life. So you kind of wish sometimes that you were just working a regular job where the bills get paid, whether you win or lose, whether you don't need to compete. Um, but yeah, definitely. Growing up, I wasn't always like the most motivated to play tennis. My parents had to kind of push me to do it. As I got older, and I realized I had a blessing to be, my ability was pretty good in tennis. So I was the one that started to be like, okay, let's see how good I can be at this. And I was the one that started pushing myself more. Um, but definitely, it's not always the easiest thing. It's also very lonely. You're alone. It's not like team sport where you have players you can kind of rely on and people that you have a bad night, someone can sub in for you. That's not tennis. So
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's also obviously it's not. We don't live the worst lives in the world, so it's a good life. I can't
Uh,
complain too much.
and do you remember a very, very dark period in your life?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all relative. It's not as dark as It's not. We don't have losing tennis matches is all relative in life. It's not the worst. It's not like people are dying in some parts of the world. So I can't say that my problems are super comparable to others. But of course, it's my life, and in my life, if I'm losing 8, 9 matches in a row, going week to week, having the same tough experiences, for me, it's not an easy life. And that's I mean even the end of last year, I was really not doing well on the court, off the court. I was really not having a good time, and I wasn't really considering retiring. I want to go that far, but just it's hard, man. When you're just doing all your whole life is centered around this one sport, and the sport's not going well, it's not going to be a good time.
A happy one. Best day of your career.
Best day of my career. Maybe playing Djokovic in the French Open center court like 2 years ago. That was just cool. I mean, I don't know. He was my idol growing up. Still my idol. I mean, he's the best tennis player of all time. Um, Obviously, those guys. I mean, Federer and Nadal now are retired, but and Djokovic too. I can't say he has probably 10 years left or on the tour. So to be able to play on a huge court like that in a huge tournament against him was something that you don't have many opportunities to do. Especially I just got on tour really last year on the main tour, so can't expect to have and unless you're going deep in the tournaments, you're not playing those guys very much. So that was a privilege for me and something I'm super grateful to have been able to do.
What type of leader Djokovic is?
I mean, obviously, like I said, it's an individual sport, so I'm not around him as much as I wish I was in terms of, I'd love to see all the things that he's doing so I can kind of almost take some things to copy. But part of this sport is being kind of like secretive about what you're doing so that other people don't get don't replicate it. You want to have some kind of an advantage. So, but I mean, seeing him do amazing things is obviously inspiring. Him, Nadal, Federer, mainly what they had as a rivalry, inspired a lot of people to try to kind of replicate that. I think that's what Alcaraz and Sinner have kind of tried to start doing. Seeing someone win I don't even know how many 20 more Grand Slams gives you belief that you can do it too. Maybe not me yet. I haven't won one yet, and it's very far away maybe to win one. So, uh, but to see everyone kind of pushing the needle over and over, the younger generation trying to be like them, and then us trying to replicate it kind of just pushes the sport further. And I mean, they're just legends. I don't know. Djokovic specifically is for me is inspiring because he also has Serbian background, which my dad is Serbian, so they inspired him as well. And so let's say to share a court with him was not only cool for me, but it was super cool for my parents, and I'm sure everyone that's been in my life.
Is it true that you only realize how good Djokovic is when you're playing him on a center court of a Grand Slam?
No, I think I realized he was really good before. Actually, if anything, I realized that he was a little bit human when I played him. I was like, when you're playing against someone, it's an actual game. You're playing against them, and it's not as in my head before the match. It's like I'm going to play the best tennis player that's ever played the sport. This is going to be crazy. But at the same time, he is amazing. He's better than anybody. But it's still, he's not superhuman when you're playing against him. It's still a tennis match. It's not, and that's how you have. If you want a chance against some of those guys, you have to see them as human. You can't see them as this like out of human figure. And then also talking to him. It's like you know for me, you have this idea of these guys because I've never played them, I've never talked to him, but it's very human and very nice guy and very it's at the end of the day, it is a human, but also his achievements make him almost this aura, this superhuman person.
Yeah, interesting. Um, how's your relationship with the rest of the American guys? Currently, 9 of them are above you. So also, beside that question, if you are like putting as a goal to get into the U.S. Davis Cup team someday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really good friends with a bunch of guys. A lot of us live in the same area in Boca Raton, Florida. It's me, Tommy Paul, Francis Tiafoe, a bunch of the younger guys that are maybe below me now, but we don't know how things are gonna shake out. But I'm super good friends with everybody that's American. I think just overall in tennis, everyone gets along pretty well. I mean, obviously there's a couple of guys that maybe have not the best relations with others because of things, but you see, especially at the tour, you see each other every week. You play each other every week. Um, because it's such a lonely sport, there's a lot of times it's very hard to be, mean to people or anything. You want to just have a good time at the tournament. So I'm good friends with everybody, but also with the Americans, very specific. Like we all get along well. Obviously, we're all competing against each other as well, and that's the nature of the sport. But I don't know. For me, I'm not thinking too much about how I stack up with the Americans. Obviously, for Davis Cup, it's important that sense. But at the end of the day, I mean, we have so many good players that represent the USA that if I'm not in the top 4 or 5 right now, I trust those guys to do well. And if I am one day, I'm more focused on just being as good as I can be, whatever that means. If that means I'm playing for the Davis Cup, great. If it means I'm not, also great. I can't say that Davis Cup specifically or how good I am in America is at the forefront of my achievements, but it'd be cool.
Angry gamblers getting into your comment sections on Instagram. Is that a thing? You care? Do you read those? Makes you laugh? Makes you angry? Hates?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got on tour, it actually made me laugh quite a bit because I was like, "Oh, these guys." Like, it's I understand better. It's like I have a bunch of friends that bet on stupid stuff. They lose money all the time, blackjack, whatever. People get emotional. I don't know if I was a betting man, if I would ever reach out to the person, like anybody. I think it's kind of weird to reaching out to the person you lost a bet on about it. Like it's just kind of strange and it's not obviously nice. But I get them whether I win or a match or I lose a match. I'm getting messages that someone's gonna come, kill my family. Or, obviously it's funny. When I started dating my girlfriend, she was like, "Oh my God, she's getting messages." She's like, "Oh, this person threatened me." I was like, obviously you don't want to say it's nothing because it's but I get these every match. It's like it's nonstop. It's you kind of go numb to it, and what can you say? It's not like if you block the messages, they're still coming through. It's I like they're still being sent, and no matter what people do, it's just gonna. You can tell that it's something that's just gonna happen, or whether you get those messages sent, even if those people don't send those messages, they're still angry and they still hate you and whatever. And it's just kind of the reality of life. It's cruel. Life can be cruel, and that's what it is. And for me, that's something I kind of understand on a human level that those kind of things, those kind of people exist, and they're always going to exist. And the only situation where you can maybe start to talk about some kind of change is truly on the betting side of things. And I don't even know if I will, be supportive of ending betting, because betting maybe brings money to everybody, and it also brings eyeballs to tennis. I mean, I'm sure in other sports as well. I mean, the culture is that betting kind of dictates a lot of the eyeballs that are watching a lot of these sports in the U.S. and maybe abroad, and so it's just something that comes with the sport. Now, I think maybe has it gone a little bit too far in terms of like how much is broadcasted and stuff. There's some events I feel like that are only put up just for the betting purposes, and that takes away like the love for the game. It's just kind of like a transactional thing. I can go with you right now and say, oh, let's broadcast our coin flip onto a betting site and have people bet on it. But that's not why we do it. That's not why we play. Um, and if anyone thinks that like people at I don't know, no one at this level of tennis, in my opinion, is fixing any matches. It's not worth it. It's a stupid. Everyone always texting me, "Oh, you're fixing us." I was fixing it. Do I like? There's no. It's just obviously it's a tricky thing to talk about because people make, but it's just a very stupid thing to say when it comes to, especially I think ATP tennis matches, because I think we make enough money here to not ever think about it. And just morally it's just
Yeah. And last one, you were born and raised in New York City,
yeah.
where actually pickleball is like taking tennis players away, taking tennis courts away.
Yeah.
What's your take on pickleball? You like it? You love it? You hate it?
No, I hate it. I hate it. I think it's a very dumbed down version of tennis, I think, and the reason I think that it is popular in the States is because obviously I would support this. You know, I think it gets people out to exercise. It's very accessible. There's pickleball courts like all you have to do is draw lines on a tennis court. Um, but I don't really, as a serious professional sport, I don't respect it at all. Now, as a sport for a recreational person, like kind of like cornhole or something to play, go for it. It's a fun game. You can get your family playing. I can get my grandpa to come out, and he'll probably be okay at it in like 20 minutes. Um, but for a real professional sport, I don't think it's a lot of the guys that are anything ranked seriously in that sport were all coming from tennis that couldn't make it in tennis that are there now. So I can't say that I respect it very much as a professional sport. I think it's kind of a joke, but a sport like padel that adds something to a tennis where there's, you know, the problem with that is it's not as accessible because you have to have like a glass, wall for it, but it adds some kind of flair to tennis to like a sport like tennis where it's adding, a wall that you can hit off of. It's still athletic. It's a cool sport. Something like that I have a lot of respect for, but pickleball, no for me.